Hi folks, this is Anne Marie. Today's Thursday, October the 11th, I think, yes. And I'm doing tomorrow's SPY chart today because I have a business meeting out in the morning and won't have time to do it prior to the open. So, let's talk about it. Here we have our ABCD pattern. It was not violated today. Yes, today felt super yucky, right? Up high here and then just a slow dribble of death to the downside. I realize that, but let's take a look at things contextually. All right? Looks pretty ugly, I will agree. But a chart like SPY doesn't really like to have gaps, and so it's going to try to fill most of that. And it did try to fill most of it, well, yeah, actually it did fill it, didn't it? Right there, came into the gap fill. But take a look at what else we see. This is a higher low and a higher high than the prior day. Okay? Now, when we have a formation that comes in low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, double bottom, bounce, fills the gap but holds the space, it's not actually telling us that we're off to the basement. Okay? So let's not stress about that. Hey, do I like the way today looked? No, not really. I mean, if I'm thinking about things from a bullish perspective, it was really ugh, if I could use my most technical term for you right there. So here's what we are anticipating tomorrow. In my mind, I am still thinking that we have a space for bounce action. We came in, made a lower level pre-market, and then came in and just kept running up. We've got to a higher low and then pulled back but held the low. Not only did we hold the low, we made a higher low. Here's what's going to happen. Two things. Well, three things. First, we could just move in this range all day between 143.75 and 143.35, right? That might mean the pin there is 143.50. I don't know, but it certainly could do that, right? We've got essentially, you know, red, green. So we can't, side note, if you guys are wondering why it is that my chart is white and blue, I was actually told by someone, Denise Scholl, that if you have too much red and green on your chart, it creates a level of anxiety in your mind that only contributes to poor performance. And so I turned my charts to white and blue, and I can tell you, I love it. White and blue, white and black. Those are the colors that you'll see on my charts. But I digress. So here we are sideways, right? Sideways action here, that's one scenario. We won't break down below 143.36. We won't break above 143.75. The second scenario is that we do break below 143.36. Listen, if we break below 143.36, we've got nothing to hold us up but the next level of support. And that's somewhere around here. My thought is if I break this region here, I'm just going to go all the way to 142.96. All right? Here's how you look at rotation in a wave. It comes down, it'll pop up to a lower high, and then it will continue down again. Notice today, how did we imagine that the day was going to continue downward? We popped up, we made a lower high, we made a lower low, we bounced into a lower high, and then we made a lower low. And we bounced into yet another lower high, which resulted in a lower low. But we stopped right here because we'd finished filling the gap. And that was the work this chart had to do on the course of the day. If it fails this region, it is going to move into this area this area, and more than likely it'll be pretty yucky. I would say maybe 140, 156 ultimately over the course of a few days, unless, we just vomit one day, whatever. So that looks like the general trajectory should things go awry. Now, if we do what I am thinking we're going to do, then we will breach this level. We will pop into the 144.06 level. We will pull back into a higher low. Maybe it pops up into the 50 and pulls back. But whichever the case, it's going to breach this. It's going to create the long action. It's going to come up into frontline resistance, which is sitting somewhere around here as far as I'm concerned. Could come all the way to here. It will roll back. If it holds a higher low, it's telling you it's going to go higher. And that's all there is to it. You just step through. I got some great tweets from some folks that said that yesterday's or this morning's SPY analysis made them a bunch of money. That's great, right? I do this to help folks learn, see what's going on, and certainly to tell you how I look at the charts, which essentially is very, very different to where most people look at charts. So, that being said, that's the scenario. These are the levels. Write them down. And happy trading. It is options expiry tomorrow for the weekly options, so there will be some level of pinning floating around there, so be careful. All right? Take care.